Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm good and I'm glad that I'm here to see Sandeep Chaudhary's success and to know what all is happening latest in the technology and waterproofing world. And,
Let's talk about DryShield a bit. What is DryShield all about, and why are their products essential nowadays for every building?
basically, you need to protect your buildings. That is the key to the success of any building. And if the building fails from the waterproofing point of view, that means the architecture has failed. And the conditions are so bad that any building which you look at has some kind of a problem or the other. And I don't think it is associated with waterproofing as much as it is with the kind of lack of detailing, foresight at the time of construction that needs to be taken care at the right time. So that's important.
Sir, why does sealant happens? What is the reason behind it?
Reason is essentially the poor detailing. Now you have to understand the construction methodology. Sometimes it's an oversight, sometimes there are deficiencies in our construction system, and there are certain construction standards which push that kind of a crack in a building
Right.
which you have no control over, and it is pushed on to the failure of the waterproofing. Just to give you an idea that if you have a construction joint in a building, now the size of the buildings have changed so much. Like previously, about 30 years back, we would do buildings which were much smaller. But today we could be talking about 15-20,000 square meter plate size, and you can't cast that concrete in one day. So there are day joints happening, and when you do the next panel of the slab, the shrinkage of each panel happens independently, and that's where the leakage starts, and then the onus comes onto the waterproofing guy to take care, whereas essentially it is an engineering issue to be
Right.
addressed by the waterproofing. So if that be the case, because our construction sequence is like that, we can't do more than what we can do in a day. That means we have to take a kind of a composite solution to the problem.
Right.
Some part of it on the engineering side for the slab or the
Right.
construction side, and some part on the waterproofing.
Right.
And for that, the waterproofing needs to be such that it takes care of the expansion, contraction, or the cracks for that matter. The other challenging issue is that there are times we are talking about purely slab in isolation. Like I'm doing a lot of large basement with 30,000 square meter area, and each and every panel is cast in, let's say, about 1500 to 2000 square feet.
Right.
So there's a construction joint. But when we have the wearing course for which we do vacuum dewatering, the construction joint for that is different.
Right.
So what happens, the water starts leaking from one point, whereas on the surface it shows somewhere else.
Right.
So that is also another challenge, that how do you address that? And at that stage, putting waterproofing in the basement on top of the slab is not a viable solution in terms of cost or in terms of practicality.
Right.
So those are kind of practical challenges which nobody in the industry as such has addressed.
Right.
That we need to find a solution for it.
So, considering as an end consumer, people are not very well known about waterproofing, or why is it important, or what kind of material should we use. Whatever the contractor says, we believe it. Okay, and then the problem arises after 3 years of the building. So, how do we work on that part?
Well, I think for that, the waterproofing industry has to blame themselves because they give 10-year warranty or guarantee or whatever, and everybody shields against that. The contractor will say that, oh, the waterproofer has given indemnity bond for 10 years, so his bill is paid for, and he doesn't care once his final bill is cleared, whether
Right.
the building leaks or not. So there should be no incentive by the waterproofing industry that, oh, we are guaranteeing our product for 10 years.
Definitely.
While they do it in earnest, but it is being seen in a different context. That
course.
somebody is giving a guarantee,
Of course.
but he will not give a guarantee or vouch for my poor construction quality or circumstantially construction standard issues.
Definitely.
So it is something which I think needs a greater answer, and civil engineers and the waterproofing challenges have to be seen together pre-construction and not post-construction.
Alright.
Post-construction is something one needs to take care that it has happened.
Definitely.
But why it should happen in the first instance?
Alright.
That's the issue.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us, sir. Thank you.